Hi everybody, welcome back. Thank you very much for your comments. I will try and implement them all in the coming videos. Today I would like to talk about these two stamps here. What's the connection between them? Let's talk about this and more in this episode of It all started with this little guy here, Heinrich Himmler. Now my daughter would say he's a bad guy, and actually he was. He was Hitler's right-hand man, basically the second in command in the Nazi regime. He was actually the architect of the Holocaust. In order to continue, you have to look at this stamp. Now this stamp was the Hitler stamp. Almost everybody has it in their collections. Now, a fun fact that many people do not know is about this stamp. Any stamp that was printed with Hitler's likeness, he got royalties from them. They were entered into, the royalties were entered into something called a culture fund, a Kulturfond. Okay, so now the British decide to create a parody. Now that you can see the parody here, in my opinion, the likeliness is quite good, but Himmler was insulted, and he approached the old Hitler and said, "What are we going to do about this?" And they decided to fight a parody with a parody. And that is where our story starts. Ironically enough, the Nazis had a team of expert counterfeiters and forgers in the Sachsenhausen concentration camp, Jewish prisoners. Now they turned to these Jewish prisoners and they said, "We will give you better conditions. What we want to do is to create a parody." Now the conditions were that first of all they had to use British stamps. They had to keep the colors and the design basically the same, and they had to be able to both blame the Russians and the Jews. They took the stamp, and instead of King George's face or profile, they put in Stalin's profile. They added the communist hammer and sickle wherever they could, and over and above that, they added the Jewish Star of David wherever they could. But to top it all off, what did they do? They added, "This war is a Jewish war." Take a look at the final result. If you look carefully, you can see that the Jewish is missing an eye. Now the Germans were not English speakers, so they couldn't obviously see it, and obviously the Gestapo was in charge of the final result, and no one saw that it was missing Jewish. And that's the final result. That's all for today. Take care and see you next time.